Heat number 3 is up and racing. You'll notice when they started, the last 5 seconds of countdown for the start clock, they'll start to time their breathing, get their body into positions, try and get the fastest starts that they can, and so far Elizabeth Archbold has done that with the fastest start so far. She's going to try and maintain that speed as she heads throughout this race. These athletes are gear restricted, which means that there's a maximum gearing that they can put on. It encourages athletes to learn how to pedal fast, save their knees until they have the big muscles that can push over the bigger gears. It looks like Caitlin Power-Rauda has moved into the fastest time so far in this competition. Still a very close race between these two, with the first and second fastest time so far today. Halfway through this race, and Caitlin Rauda has the fastest time so far by 2.2 seconds. Elizabeth Archbold has the second fastest so far, but she's taking time out of that. She keeps picking up the pace. Both athletes continuing to accelerate. Still increasing your time. Caitlin Rauda continues to accelerate away from her compatriot. Heading into the last lap. Caitlin continues to accelerate. Fastest time. Elizabeth is still accelerating as well as she heads into the final. Both athletes looking strong as they head into the last half lap. And it looks like Elizabeth Archbold, fastest time, 2:46.688. Caitlin, second fastest time, 2:47.123. We're heading into the final heat of the U17 Women Individual Pursuit. On the home straight, we have Simone Boyard from Équipe de Québec. On the back straight, we have Cassandra Kyriakis from Callisto Forest City Velodrome, powered by Toyo Tires. Quebec has a history of producing really strong athletes in this sport. Heat number 4 is up and at 'em. Notice Simone had her body all the way back so that she could launch it forward as she began her race. They're off to good starts, posting the third and fourth fastest time so far. Again, this race is about pacing. Each athlete has a coach on the sidelines who's going to help them, let them know if they're holding true to their plan. So far it looks like they're gotten up to speed where they want to be. Cassandra with the fastest time so far. Simone just behind her with the second fastest time. Both riders still accelerating. Still with the first and second fastest time. Cassandra is a second and a half ahead of the last heat. Simone looks to have slowed down just a little bit. She's going to try and pull that back in the last half of this race. 1 kilometer to go. 750 meters to go for these riders. 3 laps of the track. Simone's straying a bit from that black line. The black line is the shortest way around the track. As the riders get up to speed, they can feel themselves getting pulled out of the corners. It is a skill to stay exactly on that black line as you head in and out of the corners. Two laps to go. Cassandra still leading. Time so far is 2:02. Simone still has the second fastest time. We saw in the last heat that the last lap can be very painful. Everything can change on that last lap. These riders are getting the bell. Both are giving it their all. They're doing everything to hang on tight. Come in strong. Half a lap to go. It's going to be a strong finish for both these riders. And Cassandra finishes with the fastest time of 2:45.361. Simone picked it up quite a bit in that last lap. Second fastest time of 2:46.056. Elizabeth Archbold hung on for third fastest, 2:46.688. Next on track are the U17 men individual pursuit. This is also a 2-kilometer, 8-lap race. Heat number 1, racing against the clock. He'll be on track by himself is Philippe Gelina from Club Cycliste d'Amour. And Philippe is off, getting up to speed. He tried to jump the gun on that one, but the gate held him in. A little bit of a shaky start, but he's settled in. You'll notice all kinds of different helmets on the riders today. Philippe has an arrow helmet with a big long triangle out the back. This event, they try and use all their aerodynamic equipment. The more streamlined the helmet, the quicker they cut through the air. He's doing a great job of pedaling in circles. Nice, smooth pedal stroke. He's keeping his eye on the line. He's got a coach on the sidelines helping him with his pacing. Currently riding at 43.5 kilometers an hour. His coach is egging him on. Halfway through the race, let's see if he picks it up a little bit as he continues on these last 3.5 laps. This race requires a lot of mental toughness and stamina and focus, especially when you're on the track by yourself. Speeds come down a little bit as he heads in towards 2 laps to go. Last 500 meters, let's see if he can pick it up on these last 2 laps. This is when it really takes mental strength. Trying to stay relaxed and breathing and still getting your legs to pedal as fast as they can. Bell lap. Let's cheer him on, give him some strength as he heads into the last little bit of his race. And as he heads towards the last straightaway, he's going to come in and finish with a time of 2 minutes, 50.98 seconds, setting the time to beat for the upcoming riders. In heat number 2. On the home straight, we have Ronan Johnson from NCCH, powered by Deck Express. On the back straight, we have Axel Froner from Callisto Forest City Velodrome, powered by Toyo Tires. This is the 3rd O Cup race for these juniors. Many of the Ontario riders have raced together quite a bit over the past 3 months. Heat number 2. Both riders doing a good job of accelerating through the corners. Ronan had the fastest half lap, but Axel was really flying through his start. Currently the 2nd and 3rd fastest times. These riders looked focused and determined as they continue to get up to speed. Ronan now surpassing Philippe with the fastest time. Looks like Ronan is chasing down Axel. If he gets onto the same side of the track, he'll be even more motivated. He'll have a carrot to catch. Halfway through the race, Ronan has the fastest time. He's currently riding over 44 kilometers an hour. Axel has the 3rd fastest time. Still a long way to go for these guys. Ronan's pushing really hard on those pedals, trying to get everything out of his legs that he can. And Axel's picked up the pace. Axel now is the second fastest. Ronan's still leading. As they head into the last 500 meters, Axel still looks to be picking up the pace. Ronan's come down a little bit in speed. It's the bell lap. Both riders are riding almost the same at speed. One just came out faster than the other. Let's see what'll happen in the last half a lap as they come into the finish. They're going around the final turn. Axel just has to make up a little bit of time. And Axel came back from a slower start, fastest time of 2:45.551. Ronan dropped a second with 2:46.944. Heat number 3 on the home straight. We had Kobe Liberty from Callisto Forest City Velodrome, powered by Toyo Tires. On the back straight, we have Daniel Nordman da Silva from Callisto Forest City Velodrome, powered by Toyo Tires. Those looked like very experienced starters as we head out to heat number 3. Both riders look to have done a really good job of throwing their body weight into their start. And as they finish the first lap, both of these riders have the fastest times of the first 3 heats. Kobe currently over 44 kilometers an hour, first rider to do that today. Still continuing to accelerate. Kobe now over 46 kilometers an hour. Daniel over 44. They're the fastest riders so far of the day. They both look to be continuing to accelerate. And halfway through the race, Daniel's just under 2 seconds behind. These are both long, lanky riders, doing a great job of riding the shortest way around the track. This is where focusing on breathing is an important part of the race, trying to get your breathing in rhythm with the rest of your pedal stroke, continuing to stay relaxed but still accelerate as you head into the last few laps. 2 laps to go. Kobe's speed has come down a little bit, but Daniel's has increased. We've seen lots of heats so far where the slower rider at the beginning turns out to be the fastest when it gets to the end. One lap to go. and Daniel has moved into the fastest time. Kobe, the second fastest time. A lot can change in one lap. Oh, it's going to be a close one. Half a lap to go. And as they round the final turn, they can see the finish line in their sights. And Daniel, fastest time, 2:38.532. Kobe, second fastest time, 2:39.113. Very exciting racing by those two. In heat number 4, we have Antoine Dalterio from Equipe de Quebec on the home straight. On the back straight, we have Ethan Sitlington from NCCH, powered by Deck Express. And the riders are up and at 'em. The time they're looking to beat is 2:38.532, posted by Daniel in the last heat. Looks like both riders are off to a really strong start. There is one velodrome located in Quebec in the town of Bromont. They have a really strong cycling center there. Lots of excellent mountain biking, road biking. It's an old outdoor wooden track. And 2 laps into the race, Antoine has the third fastest time. Ethan has the fourth fastest time. Their speed continues to go up as they head towards the halfway mark. You'll notice Antoine has the aero bars, much like everyone else in this heat. Ethan has chosen to stay in his drops. Halfway through the race, Antoine has the second fastest time to date. Ethan has the 5th fastest time. Both riders are still picking up pace. 3 laps to go, their speeds are still going up. Well, you can see Antoine starting to suffer a little bit. Ethan's working hard, has got the pink cheeks of the pursuit, showing strong efforts. And Antoine has moved in with the fastest time by almost 3 seconds. Ethan is still looking to hold on. He's moved up a place as well so far. 1 lap to go for Antoine. Currently has the fastest time by just over 3 seconds. He can see his racing mate in sights. It's going to be motivating to chase him down. Ethan is going to head into the last half lap just as Antoine finishes. Antoine with the fastest time of 2:34.330. Ethan heads into the finish line. Looks like he's finishing strong. And 4th fastest so far with 2:42.625. Really strong finish by those 2 riders. Heat number 5 is now getting on track. On the home straight, we have Giuseppe Carone from NCCH, powered by Deck Express. On the back straight, we have Oliver Campbell from Midweek Cycling Club. These are 2 Ontario riders. These riders launch themselves into the start of the race. As they stand to get up to speed. Both these riders are also decked out. They've got the aero helmets on, the aero bars on. Got their eyes on the prize. They know what time they have to try and beat so far. They've both gotten out to strong starts. Just a reminder, the time to beat is 2:34.330, posted by Antoine Delterio. That was an average speed of 46.653 kilometers an hour. But it looks like Giuseppe Carone has his sights set on beating that. Currently, he's over the fastest time of the day with 5 laps to go. Oliver has moved into 3rd fastest so far. First rider to go over 47 kilometers is Giuseppe. And as he heads into the last half of the race, he still looks to be picking up speed. Oliver is still having a strong race. He's maintaining the same momentum. With 3 laps to go, Giuseppe still hosts the fastest speed. Oliver's moved into the 2nd fastest. Looks like Giuseppe's still gaining on Oliver. Both riders are very aware of where the other is on the track, even though this is a race against time. And they'll come in with strategies. It's more motivating when there's someone on the track with you. It's the bell lap for Giuseppe. He's riding at over 48 kilometers an hour, posting the fastest time. Oliver is moved down to the 3rd fastest time. And as Giuseppe comes into the final straight, he crosses the finish line with the fastest time of 2:28.35. And Oliver will finish with the 3rd fastest time of 2:35.859. That moves Antoine into 2nd place so far. His time was 2:34.33. Heat number 6. On the home straight, we have Sydney Flagiole-Bray. On the back straight, we have Joel Domingue. Joel was here at the last Oak Cup. He's from Trois-Rivières, Quebec, just on the Quebec-Ontario border. Sydney's representing Team NCCH. Getting some last little pointers from his coach, Rick Lee. Both riders are using everything they got to get up to speed. There's a lot of technique involved in starts. Use your upper body just as much as your lower body to get up. Once you settle into your aero bars, it's all about the legs and the lungs. Joelle had the fastest start so far. Sydney's still making up time. All right, so far these are our two fastest of the day with 6 laps to go. Registration for the Masters and Elite who are racing later today. Registration will open at noon in 5 minutes. We're halfway through the race. Sydney's still holding the fastest time. Joelle is holding strong with the 3rd fastest. This is when the lungs start to ache, the legs are pounding, everything's starting to burn. These riders are staying focused. 3 laps to go. They're maintaining their positions in the overall rankings. All right, Sydney's making up ground on Joelle. Joelle, who had the fastest start, looks to be fading a little bit. We'll see if he can come back in the last lap and a bit. And as Sydney gets the bell lap, he has the fastest time so far of the day. Joelle is going to see if he can pick it back up and get the 2nd fastest time, but it looks like Sydney's going to have the fastest so far. And Joelle continues around the track as Sydney finishes. Fastest time of 2:26.173, and Joelle stays with the 3rd fastest of 2:32.662. So currently, Sydney fastest. Giuseppe Caron maintained, stays at 2nd. And Joelle currently has the 3rd fastest. So the current time to beat was just set at 2:26.173. As we head into the final heat number 7, we have Dawson McDonald from NCCH powered by Deck Express on the home straight. On the back straight, we have Justin Correa from Callisto Forest City Velodrome powered by Toyo Tires. This is the last heat. When these 2 riders are done racing, we'll know who finished on the podium. So both these riders will be very much aware of what times they have to do. Final heat of the under 17 men individual pursuit final is on track. Reminder to junior women, your individual pursuit is up next. You should all be going through or have gone through bike check at this point. Dawson and Justin still look to be climbing up the charts. Justin currently has the 2nd fastest time, Dawson 6th fastest. And Justin now has the fastest time so far at this point in the race with 6 laps to go. Dawson's speed is continuing to jump as well. 4th fastest, but his speed is still increasing on the others that have raced so far today. Justin's on fire. He's motivated. And with halfway through the race, Justin still has the fastest time. Dawson's fluctuating in placing, but his speed keeps increasing. Justin keeps eating away at that lead. He's now 2 seconds faster than the fastest racer so far. And that's now Dawson. Dawson now has the second fastest time of the day with 3 laps to go. Two and a half laps to go. Again, everything can change. This is when the race really becomes painful. The riders are holding their positions. Currently riding over 50 kilometers an hour, Justin. Lap to go, bell lap to go, and Dawson has moved into the fastest time. Justin's going to chase him down, see if he can overtake him with 1 lap to go. And with half a lap to go, it's going to be a close race. And Dawson McDonald came from behind, finishes with the fastest time of 2:23.513. Justin Correa, second fastest time, 2:24.688. Sydney looks to finish in third with 2:26.173. We're now moving into the junior women individual pursuit final. On the home straight, we have Catherine Bergeron from Equipe de Quebec. On the back straight, we have Deidre Henderson from NCCH, powered by Deck Express. Reminder to all junior women, you should now have gone through bike check. For this category, there's pads that are being placed on the track. That helps prevent the riders from taking a shortcut around the track. The yellow pads that are now on track are made of foam. The riders can ride over them, although it'll slow them down. And now on track, Again, we have Catherine Bergeron from Équipe de Québec and Deidre Henderson in orange from NCCH powered by Deck Express. You'll notice one of the big differences between this category and the under 17s is the use of aero wheels is now allowed. Catherine has a disc wheel on the back and a 5-spoke on the front. Helps with aerodynamics and speed. And they sound really cool. Helps motivate you to go. Currently, Deidre is ahead of Catherine. This race is also 2 kilometers long, 8 laps of the track. Deidre maintaining her lead over Catherine. Both riders have increased speed. They're now both riding over 40 kilometers an hour. Deidre just over 42, maintaining her lead over Catherine. Halfway through the race, Deidre has been leading Catherine for the first 4 laps. She continues to do so, but their speeds are getting closer together. Just 0.1 second ahead is Deidre over Catherine. Deidre's in orange, Catherine's in blue. And Catherine from Équipe de Québec has now overtaken Deidre. Catherine continues to accelerate. Her speeds keep going up and up. We'll see if that stays true as she heads into the last 500 meters of this race. Deidre's going to dig deep. Looks like both riders are feeling the effects of the first 7 laps as they head into the end of this race. See if they can get a bit more motivation to pick up the speed. As Catherine comes in strong to the finish line, she's going to finish with a time of 2:47.1, setting the time for all other riders to beat. Deidre is going to cross the line in 2:54.895. So Deidre set the fastest times for the riders to beat in the first half. Catherine set the fastest times for the riders to beat in the second half. Heat number 2. On the home straight, we have Naomi D'Souza from Callisto Forest City Velodrome, powered by Toyo Tires. On the back straight, we have Marie-Alexandre Lemire from Ottawa Bicycle Club. The Ottawa Bicycle Club is another club that has a really strong cycling program. They've brought a lot of juniors up through the ranks, well seasoned. And on track in red, we have Naomi D'Souza. In blue, we have Marie-Alexandre Lemire. This is Naomi's first year as a junior. She's got a disc wheel front and back. Front disc wheels change the way the bike feels. Naomi's also been racing with the men on Tuesday night weekday races. She's been racing strong against them. Really strong rider. Both these riders currently have the fastest times on track. And with 6 laps to go, it looks like Naomi has a lead over Marie-Alexandre. Both of these riders have coaches on track, providing feedback, incentive, motivation, encouragement. Still holding the 2 fastest times on track. Naomi leading over Marie-Alexandre. Naomi's working to get Marie-Alexandre within her sights halfway through the race. So again, these bikes have fixed gears. The only way they can increase their speed is to pedal faster. Naomi's gone through 3 laps to go. Maintaining a speed of almost 46 kilometers an hour. And on this lap, Naomi now has Marie-Alexandre within her view. She's going to try and chase her down. With 1.5 laps to go, let's see if Naomi can catch her partner on the track. She's digging deep. She's got her within her sights. Looks like it's just a bit too long for her to catch her, but as they head into the finish line, Naomi's going to be on her final finishing straight. Marie-Alexandre's going to continue, and Naomi, fastest time, 2:37.740. Marie-Alexandre, second fastest time, 2:36.815. Sorry, third fastest time of 2:47.455. Catherine Bergeron from the first heat maintains second place so far with 2:47.110. Very tight times between second and third place. Heat number 3, we have Ali van Eisendorn from Callisto Forest City Velodrome, powered by Toyo Tires. She's racing against Laurie Jusson from Équipe de Québec on the back straight. And in red, getting encouragement from her coach Rob Good, is Ali. All decked out with disc wheels, front and back, aero helmets on the back straight. Just now coming through the home straight, we have Laurie from Team Équipe de Québec. Nice strong starts from these 2 riders. Continuing to increase in their speed. Ali's currently moved into the fastest time so far with 6 laps to go. She's got just over half a second on the fastest time to date. That's Ali. Continuing to increase her lead. Lori currently sitting in third fastest. And as they head past the halfway point, they maintain their placings of first and third. Allie's got a really strong, solid ride. She's sticking to that black line like it's glue, holding her right in place, trying to maintain the shortest line around the track. Now riding over 46 kilometers an hour, Allie still holds the fastest time. Lori, third fastest. Both these riders can see the scoreboard as they're racing around, as well as the other athlete on track. Sometimes it helps motivate, sometimes it helps distract. But Allie continues to get a gap on Lori. And it's the bell lap, 1 lap to go. Allie looks to have increased her speed. Let's see if she continues to increase as she goes around her last lap. Lori's been sitting in third place most of this race. And as they try to increase their speed heading into the finish line, Allie crosses the line in 2:36.397, fastest so far today. And Lori finishes with the third fastest so far in 2:42.41. Start gates are moving back onto the track. Our last heat has 1 rider in it. It's Arrond Atwell. She'll be starting on the home straight, and she represents Team Triple Shot Cycling Club. We'll see how fast her start is to see if she had triple shots before she starts this race. Arrond also has all the aero equipment on, disc wheel front and back. And Arrond is started her race. This is the last heat for the junior women. A reminder to all junior men, you need to go through bike check. The first few heats should be ready to go at your respective start lines for the junior men. Arrond is off to a blazing start, posting the fastest start of the day. She looks pro out there. It's difficult racing without someone else on the track. So fans in the stands, let's cheer her on as she comes by every time. She's accelerated with 6 laps to go. She still holds the fastest time. Just under 47 kilometers an hour average for Arrond. The first few heats of the junior men, you guys should be gone through bike check and at your respective start lines. Heat number 1 for junior men is Guillaume Davidson. Heat number 2, Felix Pelletier and John Stewart. Should be ready to go. Arrond now has 3 laps to go, continuing to eat away at the lead. She's close to getting over 48 kilometers an hour. still accelerating. Arrond has traveled all the way from Victoria to race here today. 2 laps to go. Her speed slowed down a little bit, but her time is still the fastest to date. One lap to go for Arrond. Junior men, you should be ready to go as soon as this heat is over. And with Arrond's last half lap, her speed's come down a little bit, but it looks like she will have the fastest time of the day by almost 5 seconds. Arrond's finishing time is 2:31.341. Ali finishes second, 2:36.397, with Naomi D'Souza in third, 2:37.740. Guillaume Davidson should be up and getting ready to start in his start gate. Guillaume is from the team I Am Gold. This will be the start of the junior men individual pursuit. This will be our last set of pursuits before heading into all the bunch races. And as Guillaume makes his way on track, he will be racing against the clock as a solo rider on track. As the start gate gets moved on to the track, and Guillaume's bike gets set in. Again, the start gate prevents riders from leaving too early. It'll hold on to the bike until the exact moment when it's time to start. If a rider tries to go too soon, they'll get stuck in the gate, lose some momentum. If they go too late, their bike gets released before they're ready. And Guillaume has a mechanical issue. He'll be allowed to restart, as it looks like his wheel has pulled, so his chain has come off his bike. The coach is on it with all the tools. The coach will set his bike back up. He'll go directly back into the start gate, and the race will restart. Guillaume will be taking this time to refocus. His bike now securely in the start gate. And Guillaume is starting. This is the beginning, heat number 1 of the junior men individual pursuit. Riders are allowed 1 restart due to mechanical issues. It looks like they solved the problem in Guillaume's case. His bike is propelling him around the track. His coach is on the sideline letting him know if he's over or under his goal pace time. This race is 3 kilometers long. That's 12 laps. Each lap is 250 meters. Again, pacing important in this event. You can see his coach on the sidelines letting him know to ease in. Guillaume will be posting the times to beat for all of the heats that come after. There are currently 7 heats in the junior men's individual pursuit. This is also a final event at the end of the day. It's the fastest times that will determine the podium finishers. Guillaume has traveled all the way from Saint-Georges, Quebec. As a junior, he will also have gear restrictions on. And you'll notice as he rides across a foam pad, just slow him down a little bit. The pads are there to make sure that the riders stay on track instead of taking shortcuts. Holding a speed of almost 45.5 kilometers per hour. Guillaume is heading into his last 5 laps. Appears to be holding it smooth and steady. We'll see if he can increase his speed as he heads into the last kilometer of this event. The faster you go, the harder it is to stay on the black line when you go through the corners as gravity pulls you up. He's doing a great job so far with 3 laps to go. Speeds come down just slightly. He's been nice and consistent, holding a nice, smooth, and consistent pedal stroke. 2 laps to go. His last 3 laps look to be almost exactly the same for timing. One lap to go. Let's see if he can pick up his speed as he comes in towards the finish line. With half a lap, it looks like he's increased his pedal stroke just a little bit. And as he crosses the finish line, he posts a time of 3:58.518. That's an average speed of 45.28 kilometers an hour. Setting the time for everyone to gun down in the next heats. Heat number 2. On the home straight, we have Félix Pelletier from Équipe de Québec. On the back straight, we have John Stewart from West of Quebec Wheelers. These junior athletes will be back in April for national championships. It's a good chance for the out-of-town riders to get some practice on this velodrome. Heat number 2 has begun. In blue from Équipe de Québec, Félix Pelletier. Heading into the home straight right now, we have John Stewart from West of Quebec Wheelers. The Quebec coach Pasquale has been involved in the sport for a long time. He's moved a lot of juniors through the ranks. Currently, the 2 riders on track are holding the 2nd and 3rd fastest times. And Felix has picked up his pace quite a bit. Currently holding the fastest time, riding almost 47 kilometers an hour. John is also increasing his speed, maintaining the 3rd fastest, but speed keeps increasing. With 2 kilometers to go, it looks like both riders have settled into the pace that they want to be at. On the home straight, you'll see Coach Pasquale helping his athlete out. Again, even though these riders appear to be racing against each other, they are racing against the clock. It is the fastest time at the end of the day that'll win. Felix keeps improving his speed, making up ground on John. But John has moved into the 2nd fastest time of the day. Halfway through the event. Both riders look to be comfortable. Felix is chasing down John as he can now see him. They're now on the same on the same straight. You notice a difference in their leg speed. It's leg speed that dictates how fast you go. Good chance these riders are in the same gear as Felix now overtakes John. John still having the 2nd fastest of the day. Let's see if he can try and keep Felix within his sights and use him as a bit of motivation. John will not be allowed to draft off of Felix, but sometimes just having someone in sight helps motivate you to pick up the pace a little bit, improve on your overall time. Felix now has 2 laps to go. He's still holding the fastest time. John still holding the 2nd fastest time. And as Felix heads into his bell lap, his speed seems to be consistent over the last few laps. Let's see if he can pick it up heading into the last half a lap. John seems to have picked it up a little bit as he now heads into his last lap, and as Felix crosses the finish line, he finishes with a time of 3:39.913. John has half a lap to go. His speed's come down just a little bit as he looks to push it as hard as he can into his finish line. And he finishes with the 2nd fastest time of 3:56.989. Moving on to the track, in heat number 3 on the home straight, we have Adam Lefevre from Callisto Forest City Velodrome, powered by Toyo Tires. On the back straight, we have Joseph Penko from NCCH, powered by Deck Express. Both of Adam's parents have been racing. racing on track, we have Adam in red, we have Joseph in orange. And Adam's gotten off to a blazing start. This is Adam's first year on the track. He started back in November. He was a really strong hockey player based in Oakville, Ontario. His dad was one of the fastest racers in Ontario at one time, still racing on the track. Adam maintaining his fastest lead. His mom will also be racing this year. Joseph currently has the 5th fastest time. Adam keeps plugging away, taking away time. Still leading. Adam racing with the aero wheels, Joseph with non-aero wheels. And with 8 laps, Adam can see Joseph. A lot of these junior athletes have come from other sports. Hockey being an excellent crossover into track cycling. Has good power transfer, good cardio transfer. And as Adam overtakes Joseph, heading into the back straight, he pulls away from him. Let's see if Joseph can use this to stay motivated, keep him in sights, increase his speed a little bit. Just over 2 seconds is the lead that Adam has. Felix Pelletier from the previous heat has the fastest time, but it looks like Adam's giving him a run for his money. As Adam heads into the last kilometer of this event, he's still taking away time on the lead. Joseph has been consistent in his race so far. Three laps to go for Adam. He's been nice and consistent. Looks like he's starting to feel the effects of the race so far. This is when it becomes painful, when breathing becomes labored. Still holding the fastest time for Adam. 5th fastest for Joseph. Last lap for Adam. Again, he's chasing down Joseph. And Adam has increased his speed as he heads into the last half a lap. And as Adam crosses his finish line, he'll have the fastest lap of the day as Joseph continues with his race. Again, this is a race against time. Joseph getting the bell. Joseph's been really consistent in this race. With half a lap, let's see if he can pick it up just a little bit, get his speed going a little bit quicker. And as Joseph crosses the finish line, he moved into the 4th fastest time with a time of 4:10.130. So currently Adam leads with a time not yet official. Felix is currently in second with a time of 3:39.913 with John Stewart sitting in 3rd as we head into the next heat. I don't want my picture. Yeah, they do. Do I look like I'm announcing? Just give me 1 second. Well, you can take pictures whenever, but. We're heading into heat number 4. On the home straight, we have Chris Ernst from Callisto Forest City Velodrome, powered by Toyo Tires. On the back straight, we have Josh Smith from NCCH, powered by Deck Express. A reminder to the riders in the last 3 heats that you will need to go through bike check. Heat number 5, you should be ready to go as soon as this one is over. Timing is currently being sorted out for the last heat. So this is another heat of red against orange, red being the Forest City Velodrome, orange being Team NCCH. Both strong junior programs led by experienced coaches. Rob Good in red, Rick Lee in orange. Riders are off. Both these riders have full aero equipment on. Chris in red has opted for a disc wheel front and back. Josh in orange has just a disc wheel in the back. But both have aero helmets on. They're looking to go fast in this race. It looks like Chris so far is posting the fastest times. So Chris is still holding the fastest lap. He knows that the time to beat is 3:37.456, posted by Adam in the last heat. And the first rider to go over 50 kilometers an hour, Chris is continuing to accelerate and eat into the lead. As Josh comes through, he's picked up his speed. Chris maintaining his speed as he has 5 laps to go. He's past the halfway mark. Let's see if he can keep his speed up heading into the most painful part of this race. Josh keeps picking up his speed. Moving into 4th position. Chris still maintaining the lead with less than a kilometer to go. 1 second. It's been shown over the last heats that 1 second is not all that big a lead when you have 3 laps to go. He's giving it everything he's got. He's really muscling this out. All right. Josh is still going strong, but he's got Chris on his heels. And as Chris is getting the bell as he overtakes Josh. And Chris has increased his lead as he heads into the last half lap. Josh has 1 lap to go. And as he heads into the finish line, let's see if Chris has maintained the lead. And it looks like he has. Going even faster to go with the time of 3:34.269. Josh is heading into the finish line. And he finishes with the 4th fastest so far of 3:46.095.
Yeah, that one made sense, based on the time that's posted for Adam. Because they're supposed to get faster, too, though.
Yeah. Setting up on track, we have Ian Curry from Callisto Forest City Velodrome, powered by Toyo Tires. And Gabriel Drapeau-Goralski from Team Equipe de Quebec. This is heat number 5. Reminder to Josh Schenker to go through bike check if you haven't already. There was a mechanical issue on the home straight. There will be a redo for this race as Gabriel makes his way over to his start gate again. Ian's coach is Rob Good. He's working on getting the chain back up. Sometimes what happens in these is that there's so much force being produced by these riders that they pull the wheel a little bit, so the bolts come loose, which causes the chain to come off. So again, riders are allowed to have 1 mechanical issue before having a restart. This time they're off to a clean start. Again, we have Ian Curry in red from Forest City Velodrome, powered by Toyo Tires. In blue, we have Gabriel Drapeau-Goralski from Team Équipe de Québec. Ian looks to have had a faster start than Gabrielle and keeps moving up in the standings. Currently, they have the 2nd and 9th fastest time of all the riders that have gone before them. All right. Ian's speed has been within a 0.3 kilometers of an hour. Let's see if he can try and get it up over that 49 kilometer an hour mark. So far, the fastest time was Chris Ernst with 3:34. He had a speed of over almost 50.5 kilometers an hour. Ian is almost on the same straightaway as Gabrielle. This will possibly be another heat where one rider laps the other rider. When riders do lap other riders, it does take away some of their time and their speed because they have to go up and over the rider they're passing. Gabrielle looks to be accelerating. Ian looks to be slowing down just a little bit as they've passed the halfway mark, and they're almost on the last kilometer to go. Again, pacing is everything in this race. Start too fast and the finish becomes very painful, even more painful than what this race inflicts on the riders. Ian now has 3 laps to go. He's currently sitting in 5th place in the overall. Gabriel keeps moving up in time. Oh, there's a chance that we might see these two flip in standings with 2.5 laps to go. 500 meters to go. Ian still looks comfortable, though I'm sure he doesn't feel that way, as Gabrielle comes through the home straight. Bell lap for Ian. He's picked up the pace. He's moved back into 4th place. Gabrielle got the bell lap. He's sitting in 6th. Let's see if he can move up another spot as both riders head into their last half a lap. And as they come into the finish, Ian, 4th fastest of 3:44.734. Gabrielle, 6th fastest of 3:46.481. Heat number 6 on the home straight. We have Tristan Guimet from Équipe de Québec. On the back straight, we have Lucas Taylor from Callisto Forest City Velodrome, powered by Toyo Tires. right, Tristan in blue, Lucas in red. And they're standing as they go through the first two corners. Tristan has the fastest start of the day. He stayed standing almost through the first half a lap. There is one more heat of junior men individual pursuits after this one. Following that, there will be a brief break. Both these riders got off to a really strong start as they've settled in. They've moved around in the placings. Currently, Lucas sitting with the second fastest. Jordan Jones, reminder to go through bike check and make your way to the start. You're up after this heat. Jordan Jones. Lucas currently with the third fastest time of the day. Tristan with the fifth fastest time. What team is he on?
He's NCCH.
Reminder again for Jordan Jones to go through bike check and make your way to the start. Halfway through this race, Lucas Taylor has the third fastest time. Tristan Guillemette has the fourth fastest time. The time to beat is still Chris Ernst with a 3:34.269. Riders need to be over 50 an hour in order to move into the lead. Lucas is getting close to it. He's at 49.5. Still sitting in third. It's a close heat for these two with 1 kilometer to go. If we can get these riders riding 1 kilometer faster per hour on the last 3 laps, they just might move up into the standings. Tristan now sitting just shy at the podium in 4th spot. As they head into the last 2 laps, Tristan now has overtaken Lucas. Tristan in the third fastest, Lucas in 4th fastest. They've maintained that over the next half lap. And as both riders get the bell for the last lap, it's a close heat. Lucas is going to try and increase just a little bit more, try and overtake his partner on the other side of the track. With half a lap to go, Lucas has slowed down just a little bit. And as Tristan heads into the finish line, third fastest time of 3:38.457. Lucas, fifth fastest so far with 3:40.658 with 1 heat to go. Our last heat of the day has Jordan Jones from the orange team, NCCH, powered by Deck Express on the home straight. On the back straight, we have Josh Schenker from the same team, also an orange, team NCCH, powered by Deck Express. There will be a brief break after this race before heading into the junior and U17 women's points race final. On the infield, you could hear a coach asking for chairs. Riders are encouraged to save all their energy when they're not on the bike. So when they're not warming up, they want to be seated, resting their legs for when they really need them for the upcoming races. This is the last individual pursuit of the day. On the home straight with shoes that match the jersey is Jordan Jones. His teammate Josh on the back straight. The benefit of being the last heat of the day is that you know exactly what time you have to beat in order to win. Chris Arrond still has the fastest time of 3:34.269. He had the fastest splits through almost the entire race. But it looks like Jordan Jones is trying to take that away from him. After the first 2 laps, Jordan Jones has the fastest time. Josh currently has the 4th fastest, but all of that can change. It's still a long ways to go until the end. Both these riders look like they have a lot of experience. Disc wheels front and back, comfortable body positions. And with the 2 fastest times so far, Jordan Jones still leading with 8 laps to go. Josh Schenker, 2nd fastest, but chasing down his teammate. Josh's speed has slowed down just a little bit. With 6.5 laps to go for both riders. Jordan's really flying around all these corners as he maintains the fastest average speed so far of over 51 kilometers an hour. Halfway through this race, and Jordan is making up time on Josh. Josh is slowing down just a little bit, moved down another placing so far. Josh is looking for just a little bit more steam to come out of his engine. He's looking for the turbo button as he heads into the last kilometer of this race. He's going to see if he can pull up his socks and get a little bit more speed out of those tired legs. Jordan continues to accelerate, still posting the fastest time as he chases down his teammate. And Jordan is passing his teammate Josh. Let's see if Josh can use this to try and move back up out of 7th place. Jordan, with 1.5 laps to go, still has the fastest time. He's averaging almost 52 kilometers an hour as he heads into the bell lap. Josh is going to dig deep and pull everything out of his toolbox to try and get some more speed as he gets the bell lap. And as Jordan heads into the finish line, last few pedal strokes, he has the fastest time of 3:27.708. Josh has just a few more meters to go as he comes into the finish line. And 7th fastest of 3:41.221. So currently the standings in the junior men individual pursuit. Jordan Jones overtook Chris with a time of 3:27.708. Chris Ernst, a time of 3:34.269, and Adam Lefevre with a time of 3:37.456. There will now be a break until 1:25 when racing will resume. The next races are points races. We'll have juniors and seniors and masters all racing in points races this afternoon. Reminder to all racers, from the remaining races, you will need 2 numbers. So you will need 2 numbers for the rest of the races on the schedule. Also, reminder to all athletes, before every race, you will need to go through bike check. So 2 numbers and bike check before every race. Racing will resume.